So on this video that you're about to watch, it's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out a way to record or figure out on one of these coils, if it's restricted, what am I getting as far as my readings go? The airflow, the temperatures, and stuff like that. Because 90% of my ACs here are just like this one. So I'm trying to be able to diagnose an AC just by setting the gauges, the following gauges in place. So if I can set them there and I know that, hey, I'm only pulling this much air at this temperature and my return is this much air at this temperature, then I'll know that I've got a good size restriction, or that my fan motor is slow. Because none of my stuff is new. None of it. Well, I mean, I take that back. I do have one building that's got a lot of brand new units in it. So I'm doing everything I can to make these furnaces more efficient. If I've got to put my hands in it, there's no need just to walk away. You know, just like everybody else over the years, they just thrown the filter in it and took off. But at least what I'm trying to do is improve. You know, just a couple of little things, especially at the very end of this video. I figured out a way of kind of capping it off. I did come up with a better way, but I'd already walked away from this one and gone on to the other one. So that's kind of what I'm doing on this video. And plus, I was trying to figure out a better way to clean the coils. Because I had a really nasty one a while back where I took an actual freaking water hose to it. It was that bad. So I found a tool at Harbor Freight that I could hook a hose to, or a water, or a suction tube to it to blow the chemical, and you'll see it. It didn't work very good at all. It didn't want to push enough chemical. So I ended up going back to the other way. The blue handle tool that you'll see in this video, I got that at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Because I know I messed up and said I got it at Auto Parts or AutoZone. So it's an air hose attachment. It's got the rubber tip on the end of the tube, so you can get it down into the condensation line to blow it out. Because with mine, that drain is set way back up underneath the coil, and I have a little cap hole. It's a pry bar. It's a little bitty thing, and I'll stick it right underneath the edge of that coil and pry it back just slightly, so I can see that coil and I can get the tip of that in there. I'm only moving it back about a 1/4 inch. I'm not doing any damage to it. Versus taking the whole thing loose and moving out. That ain't gonna happen. So, anyways, so the video is this is me trying to figure out diagnosing, how the furnace is operating. Because on the newer furnaces, you'll have like your literature. You can get all of your how much air your blower motor is moving. These, there is no records. There's no chart. There's no nothing on these furnaces. So it's a little bit lengthy video, but this is just different things that you can check out yourself if you're trying to figure out exactly what your furnace is doing if you don't have any literature on it on these older units like this. But it is what it is, man. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments about it, please just add it, man. It don't hurt nothing to add a comment to it. If you think that maybe you got a better way, that something I could have done better, please add it in the comments. And I appreciate thumbs up. I always like them thumbs up. That lets me know somebody's watching the video. Alrighty? So enjoy the video, man. Have a good day. Top of day to you. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to do a cleaning on this coil. You can see it's pretty dirty. It's missing the flares off of it. We're going to have to seal this all up because if you put the filter in there, it's still sucking air from here and from this hole back here. So we're going to take care of that today. Also, I'm going to try out my new meters these are to test temperature. I think you can even get, I forget. I've been watching so many videos on this stuff, but these are for, you can test moisture level and all that stuff. You just open up the ends, and if you put it, the face is where you can see the little, there's a little electric chip in there. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it'll test airflow, like the amount of airflow. So we're gonna set this up real quick, and we're also going to use this one because I know this will velocity, how much airflow it's feeding. I wish I had a magnet on the back because all my vents are upstairs or in the ceiling. So we're going to go under Testo app. I do have the Smart Pro Smart app, but I like this one because it's quicker. It's quicker. I can see what's going on. Right now it's already connected. This is 315. That's 315 right there. This is 494 right there. It's already connected. See if I can see. Edit view. Air temperature, relative humidity, dew point, wet bulb, and absolute humidity. Okay, well that's cool. So I can change all of these settings. Let's see, that's meters, metrics. Okay, so yeah, it'll test the temperature and a couple other things. This right here will give me airflow. You can see right here, feet per minute, which is really good because I can put this meter, I can put it right here, dead center in the middle, and right there it's showing me, I'm sorry, I forgot. Okay, so I just stuck it in there. It's basically in the middle of the coil, and you can see right here at the bottom of that gives me 626, 632, 635. So it's giving me feet per minute, and it's telling me the temperature. I really like that. So these other probes are for basically reading the temperature in the air. So what you want to do is you can put one of these in your return. We'll go with the top one. See if it's got it on there. I don't think it, no. This one here, you can, I know in the other app you can set it for return or supply. So right now I'm gonna put this right, I'm gonna put it right there so I can test the air going inside. That is, should be really close. Okay, so that was the 315. Make sure. No, it's 490. This is the 494, which is the bottom one here. So it's showing my temperature, relative humidity. I got the windows open because they just sprayed this bathtub. It's even giving me feet, cubic feet. Wow, that's giving me all kinds of info, man. There's not much of a temperature difference in these two, because this one over here just sitting over here. Okay, so we'll put this one right here. Oh, wait a minute. Is that right? Yep. We'll put that one right up there. And that's supply. Supply. I don't think that air's on yet. Let's crank it down to 67. So it's really nice, man. It reads. They read the temperature, which right now there's only 1 degree difference in the two. I got the windows open, trying to vent it out in here. I should be having a better temperature difference, because the temperature on my little fan reader, the bottom one, It's reading 71 degrees and 600 foot per minute. And we got, okay, looks like it's starting to kick in now. This upper one is starting to read 67. That's the temperature coming out of the duct. I'm gonna have to look into the absolute humidity. Cubic foot, okay. So this right here, this absolute humidity, should be telling me how much humidity is in the air. That's coming out of the return. Wet bulb is 61. So down here, this is showing me the return, or the return, how much air humidity is in the air, 76. Up here we got 75, 75.6. So you can read the two like this. You can read these two, and it'll tell you what the area is going in and what's coming out of the vent, right? So if you watch the two, it'll show you the difference in humidity, if the front air is working good enough, or the air conditioner is removing enough air. So what I want to do is I want to do a snapshot on this on my phone. Click. Okay, now that just saved that on my photos. Okay, so now I'm going to do a pressure clean on this and see just how good of a difference. My main thing is this right here. It's 71 degrees going in, and it says I am pulling, basically my blower is right above it, and it's saying that I'm pulling 640-ish cubic foot a minute. Okay, so it's showing me that I've got some restrictions on this, I know that. So I'm gonna move it over here to the right and see how far down that goes. That just dropped down to 540, 500. See, I'm losing airflow on the outer edges. You can do a test on this, which is you scan the whole coil and it'll show you your average of air movement and temperature. See right there, I'm at 480, 460, 460, 440. See, I'm losing a lot of airflow on the edges. As I get around the edges, I'm losing a lot of airflow. But in the middle, it's not too bad. 530, 560, 580, 600. I'm going to hit 600 right there, 612. So I've not really got a lot of air going into the coil. So if I take it, and you're probably not going to be able to see this, but I'll put it up here on this, my supply. I'm jumping to 950, 980, 990, 1,000 feet per minute. So it's getting a lot of air coming out because the ductwork is sized down. So once the ductwork sizes it down, then you get your velocity improves. This vent here, it's 300, 400, 410. Yeah, it's like 410 on the edge. But if I move it to the outer edge, it's about the same, about 400. That one right here is literally right there at the duct. So I've got two of these vents in here. See how much it jumps up. 7, 8. See, I've got a lot more airflow here. So technically, I could shut this one. I could shut one of those and get better airflow out of that. Down the hall. I thought it was squealing at me. I even got one in here in the kitchen. See what we got on this one. Now, like I said, we're watching this top one. This top one's going to tell me how much airflow I've got. There's 600, 800, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. So yeah, I'm pushing some air. I am definitely pushing air with this guy. In the bathroom, We got, that's a vent. Our here's in there. This one's closed off. We can open this up and we get a measurement on this airflow. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1,000, 1,094-ish. So we got pretty decent airflow. This one here's shutted. That's shut. No wonder I wouldn't get very good airflow. No wonder what the freak. And here, 7 to 68 degree air. I'm not getting a lot of airflow on this one. This does not have very good airflow. Pushing it, I might get 400. Okay, so we've done a kind of a snapshot looking at it. What we got to do is to get the relative humidity down, because right now my other two probes, my inlet is saying, let's see, where we at? 80% relative humidity, but coming out your supply or registers for you guys, it's 73 degree air, or no, 70 degrees. So I've only got a 10 degree temperature split between here and there. See what I mean? So we need to bump that up just a little bit. Of course, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to show you how much of a difference cleaning that coil is going to be. That, and I need to keep a record of this. So that when I go to work on one of these air conditioners that's not working very well, I will be able to determine how blocked up that coil is just by reading the humidity and the temperature difference between these. You know what I mean? So it's just for my personal records to make it able to use these probes for a quick diagnosis on the coil. Plus, by measuring the airflow, which is that probe I just turned off, by measuring the airflow, I can also determine just how good my fan or my blower is running, because I haven't got the probes yet to measure the water drop. So we'll work on that. So what I'm going to do on this, turn this off, get this out of my way. I love these, man. This is a pretty cool little tool, but you got to make sure you turn that little head to keep it safe. Turn it off. This one down, turn it off, close the head so that we don't get nothing in there. Anyway, put that cap back on there. Okay, so my newest little trick is this. So I got a chemical spray, you know, and I got my coil cleaner. I'm not looking to get really nasty abrasive with this coil. All right, so I bought this one, the screen, to see how well it works. This is normally what I would use. What I was doing was I was taking this, spraying the coil down real good, and then I was taking my air hose off my air compressor and I was blowing it, cleaning out my drip pan, the whole 9 yards. Well, what I really wanted to do is do this because I have better pressure on this, right? And I like this because you can change the tips out on this. I bought this at parts place, AutoZone, I think. Let me show you. Give me just a second. Well, where'd they go? Oh, here they are. Okay, so there's the big boy and there's my little fan. I like that because that won't. So what you do is just, I think it's a turn. Yeah, turn it. That comes off, and then you can switch it out and pop it right in place. Now that'll give me a fan versus this is more in your face. You know what I mean? So we're going to give this a shot and see how well it does before cleaning up the coil. All right. So well, no, I can't use that one right now. I'm going to use this one right now. I got this at Harbor Freight. It's got a little jet head to it. It's a parts cleaner for working on cars, but it has a suction hose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix us up a little bottle of this. We're gonna make us up a little bottle of the good stuff, and we'll hook this up to nitrogen and see if we can blow this out. My hose hooked up. Drop that down in there. Get down there a little bit. I got my nitrogen tank hooked up. We got this. We're gonna give us a shot. Turn my nitrogen up. We'll crank that bad boy up to about 300. Get that nice and tight. Let's crank it up about 300. Let's see how good this bad boy works. Ooh, might be a little much. Let's tone that bad boy down. Fluid's getting ready to come through now. Let's see. There we go. You can adjust this knob for more fluid. Okay. There we go. Not digging that too much. This white stuff, this is overspray from them cleaning or painting the bathtub. So I'm not digging that much. Let's just go ahead and tone this down. Let's go back to the old way. I'm saying, hold on a second. That coil cleaner on there. Let's see, this works a little bit better. I like this. Let's get that in there. Got the furnace running, sucking air in. Let's see what we can do with this bad boy. Let's get it in that drain. You can see just how bad that bad boy is. Let's get a little light on that. A little light. Might be able to see a little bit better. Whoa. Look here, man. So you can see the coil's pretty nasty down in there. So let's go ahead and do a little scrubbing on this. Looks like putty down in there. Woo! Man, that's dirty. That's bad. So I'm letting that coil cleaner do a little work while we do a little scrubbing here, because we're gonna have to get that drain cleaned out. I already know that's bad. So I like these little brushes because you can get down in there and pull up to get it out of the bottom. So just gotta get down in there. You see how bad this coil is? She's pretty rough, man. Push up here at the top. So I know I got airflow, so I'm not too worried about it. I don't think the coil's too messed up, even though it looks like shit. We just have to muscle these things along, bro. Coil cleaner does all right job. I don't want to use any acid based. This is non-acid based, non-rinse. I'm in an apartment, man, so I can't be getting all stupid with a bunch of chemicals. because I'm using this as the furnace is running, so I don't want this to get atomized and to be blowing that crap all over the apartment. It's cleaning it up pretty good. So I definitely got to make sure that drain's cleaned out. That drain, yeah, see how dirty that is? Once you get it on there, man, it'll clean it. It'll clean that coil up pretty good. Dude, that coil's shot. See how dirty that is? You see where people's hit this with the fans are mashed over. They've hit it with the filter. They've jammed the filter down in there so many times. It's getting better. Of course, to you guys, it doesn't look that good, but it is looking better, man. That coil's shot, but we gotta hump it along for a little while longer, because I've only spent about, see how good that coming clean. Get that stuff in there. The foam stuff is all right, you know, but I like this stuff. It's not really super abrasive, but it does get that in there and get that coil cleaned. You know, I think it does an all right job. Yeah, it's a pretty nasty little furnace, but we work with what we got. So I'm gonna go back to the old school. I'm gonna put this guy out on here. I like this one. Oh, gotta turn my air on. Oh, got it in my eye. Ooh. What I'm doing is I'm letting the carpet starters on the way. Okay. Okay. So this is just a wide band. It basically ain't doing a damn good. So we can go back to this guy. I really like this one. This one, I'm gonna get down in it because the drain is, let's see which side the drain's on. I can see the drain. Looks like the drain is right there. There it is. Right there. So we need it real easy. Barely pull that trigger. Get in there. Let's see if I can find this right here. You can see where people's moored this up already, so I'm not gonna hurt anything. Well, I could use this. I usually have my little pry bar with me. Push it down in there and real slowly pull it up. The drain hole is right there. See if I can see down in there. See how? Let's see if I can get you. See how that is? Looks like it's draining pretty good. I won't put too much pressure on it. Just barely pulling the trigger. Looks like it's draining fairly well. Yeah, looks like it's draining pretty good. Got a little bit of buildup down in there. See if I can break it loose. How's my head pressure? Oh, I'm almost out of juice, bro. Almost out. Yeah, it's out. That's alright, because carpet guys are almost here. I can also get the hold on a minute. What's up, Mike? It just showed up, so I'm gonna go ahead and bail out of there. My nitrogen tank was empty anyways, so phew. See, I like using the air because it's constant. I just have to wait a minute for it to build up the pressure, and then I can use then I can blow the coil out. Yeah, I mean, I can use that. I've done it a couple times now. You just have to wait for and you only get a little short burst of air versus the nitrogen tank, got a little bit more consistent air. I think I would just use this versus keep running back and forth for nitrogen. I got a mini tank, but sure, that wore me out. I'm getting old, dudes. I tell you, this is funny. It's just a comical joke, but I got me a little step stool to change light bulbs because I got up on a bucket and about broke my freaking neck. So anyways, you gotta be smarter, not harder, bro. So they'll get done here in a couple hours. I gotta go get a toilet for it and stuff like that. So we'll get back to it in a little bit. I gotta get a piece of metal for the bottom too. So cool beans. Well, the carpet guys are going. Ooh, it looks so much nicer in here. Woohoo! So let's get back to jacking this. Yeah, it's all wet in here now. That line's not working right, so let's get to work. Oil a little bit better on this one. It's still a little bit impacted, so I got the air hose out, and we'll go to town, clean this thing out. I don't know if you can't see down in there, but there's a drain right there, so we'll get to clean that up. So I took the fan cover off so I can get a little bit more penetration on this, so it's not just sucking it straight through, because that's what it'll do. Hold on. Is that with the fan cage on, with the door on, it'll just suck it right through and kind of impact. You can see how it's impacted down in there. It's a little dirty, but at least I can see light through it now. I can see light in there. Woohoo! So at least we're cleaned up. We'll give her a good soaking, man. I'll even soak it down in there a little bit. Let that run through the back side just a little bit. Get a little low. Yeah, a little out. But I can see my drain still needs to be cleaned out a little bit. We'll keep working at it. So after giving it a good cleaning, the return air temperature is 666, 665 now. And then my supply, which is your vent, is 56 degrees coming out of the vent. Relative humidity of 76%. The thermostat is reading 67 degrees. It's set at 66. So yeah, it's pretty cold in here right now, but I've had to run it just to get it good and clean. My airflow at the furnace, yeah, I had to blow the condensation line out backwards. So my airflow probe is reading 400, 480, 490-ish at the highest. Dropping down a little bit. It's going back and forth. But the airflow is 489 at that one spot. You have to do a sweep in order to get the full amount. But you got to figure that that's a 20 by 20 filter, so it's probably 16 inches by 20 actual evaporator coil. So it's running 68 degree air going through, but coming out it's 55. So that's 10 degree difference, you know, between there and there. That's probably about the farthest away I could get on this vent. So it's working pretty good. It's going to read a little bit of high humidity right now because of all the chemical that I sprayed on that bad boy. It's got a lot of water in there. Let's see what else we got here. Absolute humidity. So if we take the air probe, take it out of here, take it over here and read the vent velocity coming out of this vent. Let's see it jump. It's the number right here at my thumb going straight across. 811, 833. So yeah, it's coming out pretty good. It's almost double speed coming out of that one. And we check this other one. 600. Almost 800. Almost, yep, there it goes, 800 CFM. But the thing is when you're measuring these funky vents, you got air going each way. It's going all over the place. You know, you can turn the dampers up and down. So, yeah, it makes it kind of difficult to get a good reading on that. So, go back to the gauges. So, yeah, you know, it's actually pretty good. It's 55 degrees, man, coming out of that vent. And that's pretty good. Let's see if we can find that picture real quick. Oh, there's the puppies. Okay, so this was earlier today. This is when we first got here. And the air temperature coming out of the register, your supply, was 64 degrees. Now I'm at 55. So that's a pretty significant increase of temperature difference. And let's see what, see if I can see the airflow. I was at 645 on the airflow on the, I think that was right here. Let's see if we can get a good check on this. I think that's where I was at when I took that picture. Right now I'm at 650. Hold on, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting you're not up here with me. So right now I'm at 660 right here at my thumb. That's the flow velocity. That probe right there is reading how fast that air is moving through feet per minute. At that one little spot, it's reading 654 feet per minute at 65 degrees, and my return, or my supply, which is your vents, is reading 55 degrees coming out of the vent. So I think it's working pretty good. Plus, I kind of dried that off a little bit. I tried to put some tape on there, but this is so rusty. I just stuffed a rag in it until tomorrow when I come back. Then this all should be dry. I have a much better airflow. I can feel it with my bare hand sucking that air across that vent. So, or the return. Yeah, it's jacked up. Let me show you this. That's what a coil looks like without the fins. It's pretty jacked up. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I know. I can see it now. Right here, somebody's gone in and brazed that back together. So this has been under some significant repairs at one point in time. They had a pretty good leak right there. Well, what do you know? But yeah, the fins are bent over a little bit right there. These are they're slightly bent that way, so it looks like they're flat. They're not. They're just slightly bent over. They're fine. I could get a coil brush, but I got plenty of airflow, so I think that's pretty good. The other thing I did, remember that was all open right there? I'll show you what I did. Was for this circumstances, I was able to pick up a piece of this. It's like a duct insulation board, It's just cardboard, but it has aluminum on both sides. And let's see the other side of it here. Yeah. You see this? What do they call that? So yeah, that's what I'm using here. It's really paper thin. It's stiff enough though. It's got that aluminum seal on there, and that's what I put to cover that. I cut it exact fit. Now tomorrow when I come back, I'll probably run some seal tape around it. I probably won't. It's working freaking awesome right now. So I'll stick a filter in it, and then we'll check again. Back in there, this is that piece of shit filter, but it's got some resistance to it. I gotta get a new one. This has got paint on it. But see this gap here, this massive gap? When you put the door on it, the filter pushes against the door. I don't know where the door went. It's around here somewhere. But yeah, the door pushes against it. The door, this edge pushes against the door, and it kind of makes its own little seal, which I think that's bullshit, you know. But I mean, I could put a piece of plastic there, but it don't matter, man. This is a part of it. The door sits against it. Here, let me go get the door, show you. What I did was I just sprayed some foam in this down in there on both sides, and now when I put the door on it, that should seal to keep air from going around there. Should, technically. What I'd like to have is a freaking piece of metal across there. That would be super nice, but I don't think that's going to happen. This should prevent any air from getting around it. Because like I said, the filter, or the door, pushes the filter back. So by closing that little gappy hole up there, that should take care of it. You see how it's got like this piece of tape here. Piece of insulation, that foam insulation would be better. It would help to seal that. You know, that's actually not a bad freaking idea. Because the more you can keep the air without going around the filter, if you can keep the air from going around the filter, because I see a gap right there, there's a gap right here. You know, maybe I get some of that insulation. It's a foam, and put it in there. Hey, that's a good idea. Spray foam that mother trucker. I don't know about that. That's actually not a bad idea, Homer. I could spray foam right here to fill in this gap, because on the camera probably ain't picking it up. Let me see if I get a light in here. Where'd my light go? Where's my light? Where's my freaking light? Oh, it's way up there. She's just a little one. See that gap? So when the door's shut, the door leans against the filter, but you still got this gap. Trust me, this furnace will suck it. That's how a lot of that dirt has gotten in there, is because it's going around. What else could I do? You know what? That's going to be the quickest and cheapest way to fix this problem here. Because I do have the C channel right here on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I do have the C channel right here. That's what the filter is pushing back against. So if I foam this whole corner in right here, that should take care of it. Let's give it a shot. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. After I got everything back together, put the door back on, I put a new couple of screws in it. I got that, I got those hanging off the front. I still got the one up there in that vent. So let's see what we got now. It looks like the anemometer, I can never pronounce that, starts with A. Anyways, the return air is 66 degrees. Getting about 400 feet per minute, and that's the one over here, reading airflow going back. The this one is going to be the one over here. Yes. Okay, so it's reading the humidity at 60%. We got dew point 51. The air temperature is 64. And then the boy up here on the supply, on the vent, it's reading 54 degrees right now coming out of the vent. So that's 10 degrees difference. Okay, that's 10 degrees difference between that's not even 8 foot. If you go straight line, if you go in a straight line from here to there, that's 8 foot probably. So it's not too bad. Plus I'm also in a basement apartment, and it's only what's the temperature today? Let's see, 78 degrees right now. It's only 78 degrees. So for it to be pulling 54 out of the vent, that's pretty freaking good right now. Let's see what the humidity is right now. So we get it to pop up. Yeah. UV wind. Humidity is 76% outside. It's an overcast day. It's, it's a little on the cloudy side, but let's go back here. So relative humidity 78%. I mean, it's actually doing pretty good. It's starting to dry that coil out where I had all that chemical and stuff in it. So it's not doing too bad. Now, if I take that anemometer and put it up there, it's going to show I'm moving a whole lot of air. It's like 800 to 1,000. I think earlier it was reading 1,100. But I need to shut the one, pushes more air. But I think that'll work out pretty good. We got that bad boy cleaned out pretty good. Got to put everything else. I got to get the toilet, the sink, clean this mess up. That's where I blew the water from the condensation line. I blew it backwards, and it blew it all over the door. But it'll wipe up tomorrow. I'm not sweating that. But so that's a good scrub down on a busted up coil. I got one coming up Friday. Today's Wednesday. I got an install on Friday down at the other property just south of here. It's a modified job. It's a water feed, a water heat. It uses hot water to heat the apartment. I'll show it to you, but we got to tear the coil out, which is just like this, but it's the other way, sideways. We got to tear the coil out, and we got to put a new condenser unit in. So I'll take you along for that one. See you next time. Well, this is just a thought. This is our first attempt. So what I did was I cut another piece of that little cardboard board, and I screwed it to the top to take up this big gap. And then now the filter is tight, so the door should push it back. It should push it back so that because it's about a 3/4 half inch bowl, so it should push it back and cut any airflow down. At least I'm giving it a shot, man. You know what I'm saying? Versus everybody else just said screw it and went on with their life. I just cut that foam back a little bit, so it's still plugging up the corners. I'm trying, man. I'm trying something. If I had some more of that S-track, like slide down there, that'd make it tighter fit too. But at least I'm trying.